Shut up and sit down.
Welcome back to Season 2. That's right, there's a second season to this thing of the RedOUT podcast. I am half of your dynamic duo, Jake.
How's it going, guys? This is Devin here. We weren't ghosting you. We really love you guys, and you mean a lot to you. You mean a lot to us, and we love you guys. We're sorry.
I almost want to leave a pause so we can put in some sad music in post, or a little world's smallest violin to be sappy.
Yeah.
But we're back.
Yeah, we're back.
And hopefully a lot more successfully on the tech side, because
yes.
we want to get into this. We want to start the season off right. Tonight we're gonna introduce some news and notes, and we're gonna do our best to kind of just do a quick preview of the season. Not gonna get too in depth on things. Don't want this to run for 4 hours because there was so much stuff in the off season. But we want to kind of start out with talking news and notes for the site and for the podcast. We've got some new hosting on Podbean. And unlimited storage this time.
Yes.
I'm actually chipping in to pull my weight to pay some of it this year. So we shouldn't run into any weird storage issues this round. Jake's crappy computer problems we're not going to worry about anymore, because we're just recording these, in case you couldn't tell, in the same room, like we did for a few last year.
Yes, we get to hang out together now,
right,
so it's good.
And since I don't live too far away,
Yeah.
so we're just down the dang road, so I can just drive over.
Yeah, you're a new homeowner now, so it's all good.
I bought a house, which is pretty crazy, and also terrifying to see all those zeros after my name. Dear God. But besides that, we're going to try to do more engagement across all the social media, maybe get a Snapchat going, maybe get an Instagram, I don't know yet.
Yeah.
And then we're going to try to launch a website just to get some more engagement with you guys, to post maybe articles, video, pictures, and then link to all the stuff we're going to be coming out with this year. So.
Exactly. We've got a lot of stuff going on, and hopefully get a lot more engagement, like you said.
That's right. I'm going to try to pump these listeners, maybe get some Patreon stuff going if you guys want to donate to us. So we can buy a mixer and maybe have 2 mics at some point.
Yeah, hey, by all means, guys, donate to our cause on Podbean.
That's right. So tonight we kind of want to talk about is just a little bit of off-season stuff, kind of the team breakdown, look at maybe the position groups, what those look like. Then I kind of want to talk about our expectations for the season, what's a good season in our opinion, what's a bad season in our opinion, what we're looking forward to, what we're not looking forward to, lots more.
Yes.
And then just maybe talk about predictions, because we've kind of lined out what the season looks like. Win-loss totals?
Yeah.
What do we think?
Yeah, we could talk about that a little bit later, yeah. It looks like a rough season, but we'll like you said, we'll talk about that.
Yeah, it does. So, off-season stories, I kind of want to just talk about how I felt coming out of camp, all the stuff that Mike Sanford was saying and what the players were saying, kind of just like a little team breakdown. But one of the things I noticed in the off-season, the difference between Mike Sanford's first off-season, when he kind of came in guns a-blazing, and the second off-season was he was a lot more humble this year.
I think last season humbled him deeply, especially losing to Georgia State. Wasn't that right?
Or was it, Georgia State.
Was it Georgia State?
Yeah, because it wasn't Southern. I don't know, the Tigers. I don't even know. Pathetic showing, to be honest.
Yeah, it was Georgia State.
Ugh.
Yeah. It was so sad. I mean, coming in and getting your tail spanked by a Sunbelt team who was not even in the Sunbelt when you were in the Sunbelt.
Yeah, right. They were like FCS before then.
It's like little brother coming upstairs and spanking you because you didn't change the TV when he told you to.
Yeah, Mom said I can use the Xbox. Yeah. Oh, guys, so bad.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I remember I was watching that in North Texas. It was when we did the bowl prediction thing, and I'm sitting there going, come on, Western, just don't crap the bed. What do? We crap the bed.
Yes, and we ended our season 6-7.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Which honestly is the first losing season since Taggart's first season.
Yeah.
Since the 2-10 season.
Yeah, and that was 7 years.
Yeah.
That's 7 years, and that's ridiculous.
Nightmare.
Go ahead.
But yeah, so he came in a lot more humble. That made me happy, just because I like a dude who honestly appraises his situation and understands, look, I might have been a really good quarterbacks coach at Boise State, but running the program is a lot different. And he's admitted as such, and all his team members, all his guys on the coaching staff have also been like, no, it was way different than we thought it was going to be, and we've learned a lot. And I sure as heck hope so.
Oh, they had to. I mean, there was I took an ROTC class when I was at Western, and the teacher taught us that he had a quote, and I cannot remember exactly how it goes, but basically your plan is fine until it hits what's going to happen to you.
Well, yeah, it's like, wasn't Mike Tyson said, everybody's got a plan so they can punch in the mouth?
It's basically that, yeah.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of where they were. I mean, they had how they thought everything was going to go, and then they left. They left the dock, station, whatever you want to call it, and then when they got back, they were like, dang, that sucked.
Yeah, that was harder than we thought it was going to be.
That was awful. And but I think they're going to come into the season with a little more realism, knowing what they're expected and what's going to happen to them. I think they're going to find out with their skilled players and different positions what's coming at you.
Yeah, and that was one thing that the next thing I wanted to talk about coming out of the offseason, coming out of all the interviews from camp, was that Sanford seemed more comfortable with his guys. I know last year, I always said, and you guys can go back and listen, I thought that with the talent that was on last year's team, if you had competent play calling, that was an 8-win team. Was that a conference championship team? Maybe not, with FAU the way they were going. But that was not a 6-win team. It just wasn't. Between the offensive firepower that you had, and I know the offensive line was terrible, but Mike White could straight up sling the ball. He's the number 2 guy now at Dallas. That was not a 6-win team. But the whole season, he talked about how uncomfortable the guys were, how the systems just didn't match up, and I kind of called crap. Because if you've got talent, you got talent. But I've kind of retracted that a little bit, because this offseason, he seems to be, and the guys seem to be more comfortable with what they're supposed to do.
Yeah, I kind of agree with you. There's 2 games I think of in particular that the guys could have easily won, but there's always those games that if the ball had rolled a different way, so to speak,
yep.
that the outcome would have been differently. Marshall and FAU, prime examples right there. But that also goes along with his inexperience as a head coach and not realizing, not pushing the guys to put their throat on the metaphorical opponent's throat, and not going for the onside kick when everybody else in the stands is screaming onside kick.
Well, you know what else, too? It's something that just comes with being a head coach he talked about was, and I didn't know this, I wasn't close to the program, but he said in the offseason that one of the things that they found was it wasn't necessarily the guys were giving up, but they were gassed because he had worked them too hard in practice before.
Yeah.
And he said one thing they learned was, we can practice hard, that's fine, but we've got to have fresh legs coming into a game.
Yeah.
And he just did not expect that to be so difficult to manage. And so that's what he said in this offseason. He's like, we haven't had any injuries, knock on wood, like we did last year. He's like, we don't have just tired, dog-tired guys. And coming into the season, we're fresh, which we're going to need.
That's important, yeah, especially this season.
Yeah, especially this next game at Wisconsin.
Yeah, Wisconsin.
Yeah.
But I agree. I mean, it's one of those things that I think you take it for granted that, the importance of fresh legs and, having that recuperation time so the guys look good in the games. And I think, I'm not knocking the person, but I think a lot of the issue is Mike White being so used to Taylor being back there. You get what I'm saying? He was used to Taylor being a wide receiver for him, and he could literally, that dude was so fast, he could just throw it up, and that dude would just run grab it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I mean, he's the metaphorical hunter, and Taylor was the dog going to get it. Not that he's a dog, but you get what I'm saying.
Oh, he's a dog, like D-A-W-G.
Yeah, exactly.
He's about to be the number because Corey Davis is not that good at Tennessee. Like, y'all are about to see the breakout year for Silent Grind 2. Like, I am so excited for that season.
Yes.
And I don't even like the Titans, but I kind of have to now because I like him as a player so much.
Exactly.
It's like I don't like the Colts either, but when Captain Jack's on him, man, I gotta kind of root for him.
Exactly. I mean, you gotta root for Western dudes just because you're like, well, I know Jack, so it's like, yeah, this is awesome. But
hey, my Niners have got Prince Charles Eora is actually playing. He had some good plays in the offseason for the Niners.
I saw that.
Had a pick. It's pretty cool.
That's awesome. Yeah, of course. I think that's the only thing the Niners got.
Hey, we got Jimmy G, man. He's the prettiest dude in the NFL.
Yeah.
Dating a 40-year-old porn star. Good, bless his heart.
The greatest thing. I saw that on Facebook when when that was released that he
was out on a date with
was on the date with the porn star, and he's like, I didn't realize that I was under a microscope. And you're like, dude, you're an NFL quarterback in the city.
You're one of the highest paid people in one of the biggest cities in America. Of course you're under a microscope.
Exactly. You got to know that.
But yeah, so the offseason for me was, I like the humbleness. I like the whole team slogan, the "we over me." They seem to just be playing for each other. As cliched as that sounds, yes, it's cliche, but
football is full of cliches.
Right,
okay?
I mean, that's how you motivate.
There's no I in team. Blah
right.
blah blah.
We over me, like the pursuit. Like, yeah, what are we pursuing? Not mediocrity this year, hopefully. So we want to also talk kind of about the breakdown of the team because this is such a different team than it was last year. This is one of the youngest teams Western has had in a while. There's like 5 running backs that might start at some point or might play against Wisconsin. If you guys look at the depth chart, it's on our Twitter. It's on everywhere. You can go find it. There's a super young team this year because of the admittedly good recruiting that Stanford's been able to bring in, but I'm a little scared on the offensive side of the ball. To be perfectly honest with you.
It's easy to be scared, and of course we lost Iggy on defense too, so that's another big loss. But like you said, I mean, we're looking at Eccles probably coming in as starter, and from what I've heard, he runs really well, and he's got upside arm potential. So he's going to be really good, throwing, and hopefully we're going to have enough wide receivers out there to help him out. But
I'm excited to see if we can actually do some of that like run pass option sort of things that we weren't really able to do last year because Mike White is a lot of things. He's not fast.
No,
he's slow. In fact, they did a lot of times with the rookies. They'll like your Madden scores, and when he saw his speed rating, he was like, "Oh, y'all gave me a little bit, didn't you?" He goes, "I'm not that fast."
Well, of course, and you're looking at experience too. Eccles is probably the least experienced quarterback we've had since 2010.
Even though he's been there for 5 years.
Yeah, he's been there forever, but he's been sitting on the sidelines doing plays
between Dowdy and Mike each starting 2 years. I mean, for 4 years that he's been there, he hasn't had a chance to really see the field.
Of course, looking at running backs, I mean, we've got Jakari Moses, who's probably going to miss part of the season with an injury. We lost Baker. Let's see.
Well, I was kind of sad about Moses, man, because not only was he... First off, he was the only one to come even close to a 20-yard run. He had that 19-yard touchdown run.
And wasn't Moses' entire family the ones that retweeted our player of the week?
Yes, absolutely.
Loved it.
Because, which was awesome. So, Jakari, get better, because we need you... He's also such a receiving threat out of the backfield.
Yes.
I don't know how... I can't remember how
It's his speed.
Yeah, he has elite-level speed, and he's got good hands. He's got soft hands, which is more than I can say for you, Xavier Lane.
Yeah, I'm sorry, buddy.
You brick-handed...
Stone hands, yes,
Please
exactly.
get good. You are an NFL-sized receiver. Please catch the ball.
Looks like we got a redshirt freshman, Josh Samuels, coming in. Supposed to be good. McClendon's going to be major speed from what I've seen.
I mean, so just looking at the depth chart like this for Wisconsin, listed, they're all oars, so you don't know who it's going to be, but it's Marquez Trigg, DeAndre Furby, who I'm hopeful to see my favorite angry bowling ball back to full health, because between him as Thunder and Ace Wales as Lightning, we had one of the best 1-2 punches in all of college athletics, and I really hope to see him just level some corners.
I mean, the biggest thing I want to see is the running backs, if you're doing the zone run, the biggest thing is you make one cut, you go hash, numbers, sideline, and then you go. These guys can't even run 3 yards. That was my biggest takeaway last year.
Yeah, they averaged, even if you take out some of the, like if you do a little bit of math to get like a better reading of the average yards, you take out some of the sacks, we only averaged like 3.2 yards a carry, which is just not good enough. If you can't get 4 yards, you're not a good running team. And I mean, and we were the worst rushing team in the country. It was so bad.
Oh, it's so frustrating. I mean, you watch the games, and you're like, he's broke through the line. He's got to get through the... no, he's down.
Well, and you just look at this depth chart, and again, the youth at running back just sticks out at you. Yeah, we've got Trigg and Furby, who got some age on them, but Josh Samuels is a redshirt freshman, and then you've got Garland LaFrance as a freshman, and Gino Appleberry Jr. as a freshman. Now, I have heard really good things about those two guys. I can't remember. I want to say it was LaFrance, who's supposed to be the super shifty, speedy, again, kind of in an Ace Wales sort of back, which... we desperately need somebody who's slippery.
Yeah.
But that is, I mean, I'm scared to death on the offensive side of the ball at running back. I'm scared to death at quarterback because honestly, I don't know if Eccles is any good.
Yeah.
In his time playing, he's made some decent throws. He seems to have a good arm. But I just don't know.
Exactly. I mean, he's got more splinters than playing time.
Yeah, I mean,
because he's been sitting on the bench.
Right,
I mean, but still. Of course, Wisconsin, they're coming in at number 3. That's high, but it's always preseason stuff. They just go by who they're looking at.
I mean, I will honestly say that all the prognosticators, whether they're right or wrong, have got them coming in that 4th slot of the college football playoff. They think they're going to run away with the Big Ten. especially with the issues at Ohio State this year.
Well, of course, they're 13-1 from last season.
I mean, they were almost a playoff team last year, and they've got one of the Heisman favorites at running back. Their offensive line is one of the best in the country.
Yeah.
I mean, they're just a bunch of big old corn-fed dudes, like
exactly
the frozen north, man. They are just... I'm terrified of that game. I'm telling you, the only thing I want out of that game is for everybody to come back healthy. I don't care what the score is. I'd like to keep it close, but as long as everybody gets out of there without an injury, I do not care.
Yeah, I'm kind of the same way. It's not an Illinois game like last year where we should have won. But, yeah, well, Illinois is a little more understandable than Marshall, if that makes sense. Because Marshall, it was like one play, and we could have defined the entire game. But Illinois, they were in the new system, yada, yada, yada. There's so many things going on. But, we're just going to have to see where the defense is at as far as that goes, facing off against this good back, and how are they going to stand up to them.
I mean, I saw a thing the other day that, I can't remember who shared it, but they had talked about last year, statistically, the Wisconsin running back had the most yards after first contact of any other back in the country. And that's troubling, because when he gets to the secondary, we do not have a person in our secondary that can tackle that guy.
Yeah, exactly.
We do not. They're not big enough. The dude's a monster.
Yeah, I mean, of course, defensive line, we've got a couple guys coming back from injuries.
Mm-hmm.
So the defensive line-wise, we could actually be pretty good. Linebacker-wise, we lose Iggy, like I said earlier.
But we got Eli Brown as a transfer from UK, which is a Warren East Raider boy. Shout out to Warren East High School back in the hometown.
Yeah, shout out for Warren East. Woo.
Hey, Alan Kelly's doing good this year too.
Yeah, I'm not hating it. Just there's some bad years we had with them, but it's fine. It's fine.
We got a bunch of love. It's fine.
Yeah. They had bad years with us, so that's the same
yes,
thing.
we did.
Of course, we do have some good guys coming back from on the linebacker side. The defensive backs, we got 2 returning starters. So I mean, it's really frustrating for me.
Yeah, I mean, you got Drell Green, who had 19 starts. You got Devin Key, who had 12 starts. DeAndre Ferris, I'm really looking forward to at 11. And then who else? Oh, yeah, Coco Darden, who was a...
Well, you're talking about Drell Green. He actually was the number 3 tackler on the team.
Yeah, no, he
actually did really well.
Yeah, I mean, he's got the most returning starts on the defensive side of the ball. But like I said, I'm looking forward to... Coco has been one of the more feel-good stories because he was a walk-on who got a scholarship last year.
Of course, that's always nice.
It's great, and it was one of those things that got ESPN. Then they do a video of these dudes like Coco, you're on a scholarship, and everybody jumps around. And he's a Bowling Green guy too, so it's just nice to see the local dudes really getting a chance to not have to spend money to go to school, because when you can get it, take advantage of it.
Well, I mean, this is a positive for our defense. We had the number 2, number 3, and number 6 tacklers on the team returning.
Right, exactly.
For the defensive back. So, I mean, that's always positive.
Yep. I mean, I think the defensive side of the ball is where Western has to hang their hat this year. I mean, to be perfectly honest.
Yeah.
The offense just has to be good enough to keep us in games, and you just got to hope the defense can shut them down.
And I think that's going to be a big part to Eccles' feet.
Yep.
I think our running backs, I'm hoping Moses comes back. I love you, boy. You're great. Don't worry about it. I hate that we lost Deion Yelder.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, that's so sad.
Big thump. But hey, he's making like $900,000 a year down in.
I can't
hate
because he's playing for the Saints. But at the same time, I'm loving that he's making the money. But I'm missing him coming across the middle. That was probably one of my favorite things, watching him come across the middle and White hitting him right there.
It's just
in
like
the hands.
boom, right in the numbers. Now, I mean, Myquan Dean, I think he's going to be serviceable. He's a redshirt senior. He's a big guy at 6'4", 240. I mean, that's a tank. We've been lucky at tight end. I mean, there's a reason that's like the joke, like tight end you. And hopefully he'll step up. I mean, he had some decent receiving stats last year for being the number 2 option at tight end, but we'll just have to see.
Of course, they've got the redshirt freshman Samuel starting, from what I've seen. Josh Samuel.
Yeah, so I mean, like I said, this weekend they've got 5 dudes. They're not even sure. So they got Trigg, Furby, Samuel, LaFrance, and Appleberry. 3 of those are underclassmen.
Yeah, I was going to say, from what I'm looking at here, Josh Samuel, McClendon, and Trigg are your 1, 2, and 3. And that's really surprising me because Trigg played part of last year. And Furby's at number 4. I don't know if that's the order they're in. Is that the order?
Well, so like I said on the depth chart, it doesn't really have an order because they're all oars.
Yeah.
Which, what that shows to me is inconsistency in practice, honestly.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't have a dude who he can just hand the rock to and trust.
Yeah.
Now, we gonna see.
Yeah, we'll see. Exactly.
Because tomorrow we play Wisconsin.
Is it tomorrow?
Yeah, it's tomorrow night.
Oh, okay. Wow.
Yeah, we're one of the first. I mean, now they had some bum games last week, but it really starts tonight with Purdue and Northwestern, and then just the weekend takes off. There's some really good stuff coming up. Kentucky plays a crap on this weekend, but Louisville's going to go get stopped by Alabama.
Well, Kentucky plays
Central Michigan.
Central Michigan. You're right. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
And
it's not going to be anything there. I'm sorry.
I don't know. I want to see what old.
You think Central Michigan could beat UK?
I think that if Touchdown Terry is not as good as they think he is,
he's quick. I've heard he's the fastest player on the team.
That's what everybody says, but we'll see. Well, first off, if you're just like Louisville last year, right? Lamar Jackson was the fastest guy on the team, and he is next level fast. Yes, do not get me wrong.
I'm very
but your quarterback should not be the fastest guy on your team.
It's useful. It's useful if he is the fastest guy on the team because it puts pressure on the secondary.
It definitely
because
does.
They don't know when he breaks the pocket. They're like, do I go for him or do I stay on this receiver? And if they make a bad choice, he could always throw over.
If he can throw.
If he can throw.
That's the thing. I don't know. Stoops wouldn't say anything positive about him in the last couple interviews.
Stoops doesn't say anything positive about anybody.
Why? Well, yeah, because he doesn't need to set expectations.
I'm pretty sure Stoops' wedding vows were she's all right.
Do you? I guess.
Yeah. Do you? I guess. I'm already here. We've already paid for this. Let's just do this.
Go. I got more film to watch.
Yeah, I got some film. Let's go, guys.
But yes, we really got to hang our hat on the defensive side of the ball. And like I said, a defensive line, I honestly think that's not going to be an issue. In the secondary, I don't think it's going to be an issue. And honestly, between Ben Holt, Masai White, and Eli Brown, I think we're okay. I don't know if there's going to be a lot of drop-off at linebacker.
I don't think so.
Eli Brown
we're going to miss Iggy. We're going to miss him.
Have you seen some of the plays he's making for the Bears? He's his speed to get to the ball. He's not the biggest linebacker, don't get me wrong. He's no, But,
as a Packers fan, I hate that he went to the Bears.
I know, don't
you? You got to cheer for Iggy. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But it's like you said. I think we're going to miss him because he was such a dramatic playmaker. But at the same time, I think the guys can fill in. I'm just worried about injuries.
Yeah, but I just don't see a lot of drop-off on the defensive side of the ball. Offensive, it's a crapshoot, right? Our offensive line is young. Now, are they healthy? Yeah, but they're a little thin. The running backs, we have no idea who our bell cow's going to be. At receiver, we're deep at receiver, maybe, if they step up. But you're talking about guys like Xavier Lane. I've been saying this for 2 years now. Xavier Lane needs to, last year, I thought he was going to be the guy because he's big, he's fast, he's got NFL size and speed. But what movie is it where they just throw the football into his helmet and it sticks and he just runs? That's what
Is it the Replacements?
It might be the Replacements. The Replacements has got the glue on the hands, the elephant thing. That's pretty bad. But yeah, that's what you needed for this dude to be able to catch the ball.
Exactly.
And if he can just now, I have, like I said, I've got you guys would laugh at me, I'm such a nerd. I've got a stack over here of printed newspaper articles. I'm too cheap to buy the Daily News.
Well,
Sorry,
I'm
guys.
sitting here reading Phil Steele, so you're okay.
Yeah, so
we're fine.
But there's an article on how much better Xavier Lane is supposed to be this year, and I just really hope that he is. Because if not, our receivers we need a dependable receiver, and we just don't necessarily have that. Lucky Jackson was supposed to be the guy last year, and he let us down.
Well, I think that was the issue, though, is that we had all the pressure on Lucky Jackson to be that player.
That's true.
And whether he could handle the pressure, or the other teams were like, "Hey, that's the guy they're going to throw to. Let's all, let's make sure we have good double coverage on him."
That's
exactly.
True. That's fair. And besides Lucky, you also had Pearson, who was pretty good, and again Sloan being a dude who you could throw.
Sloan
to.
was good. Yeah, I agree.
So we do have some depth. We have depth. We can keep fresh legs. It's just whether or not we're gonna see somebody really take command of the offense, and whether that's Lucky Jackson at the number 1 slot or that's Xavier Lane at the 2, whoever it is, we need a dependable target.
Well, don't forget Nakarius Fant. Excuse me. He did awesome last. Well, yeah, but he was one of those that.
Which, by the way, did you see what happened to him?
What happened to him?
He got arrested for drugs.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah, it does. It sucks really bad. He had
was it marijuana or what?
No, he was in a car with cocaine and stuff. I'm pretty sure. Really bad.
God,
you guys can look at it. He's allegedly right. None of this is he's not convicted or anything.
You're innocent until proven guilty,
Absolutely.
according to the court of law.
Allegedly, yes. Says the lawyer. But yeah, he was caught in a car with some drugs and some other bad stuff. It really stinks because he seemed like a good dude.
Yeah, well, I mean, you don't, and
Well, see,
it may have not been his either.
Well, yeah, he could just be hanging with bad crowd.
He could have just gotten into the wrong car with the wrong group of people, whatever.
Is a thing, but still, man,
you got to know who your company is. That's the biggest thing. Of course, Lucky Jackson actually was number 3 overall last year on total yardage. So, I mean, you can't really fault him because as long as we had somebody else to step up to take pressure off him,
that's true.
We were good as far as he goes. He was a good deep threat. Nicarius Fant was another one to a deep threat. I'm just looking through some of the stats here.
Yeah, I do have to say, like, for prediction-wise, Phil Steele, he says, like, he does lead up, right? He doesn't do a whole lot.
He's an analytical person.
Right, he's a stats guy. He's the Kim Pom of football.
Yeah,
you know
exactly.
What I'm saying? Which I like. I like the Athlon one, too, but Phil Steele tends to be, kind of the statistical Bible for college football.
Yeah,
because it's so in-depth.
Yeah, exactly.
And for was it $13?
Yeah, it was like $13 at Barnes & Noble.
Yeah, that's what
Shout out to Barnes & Noble.
Right, and your free drinks when you pay for $25 for your membership.
Yep, that's where I buy my cheap Legos.
That's right. They're cheap Legos there?
They're not cheap Legos, okay? As the Lego guru that I am, you could buy them at whatever Lego's price is, and they give you the 20% discount for being the member.
Gotcha.
So you save
a little bit of money.
Yeah, so you save some money. That's little Lego stuff for you guys.
So let's talk like expectations for the season, right? So last season there was a lot of hype coming in. There was talk of 12-0 because we didn't really have that hard of a schedule. Like, what was it 128 on 130?
We were number 128 out of,
according to the Phil Steele Matrix, like
yes,
one of the weakest schedules. So we stood a shot to be like this really good Group of 5 team. Obviously, that didn't go the way that we thought it would go, and by mid-season, we're like, what the heck? But so I think our expectations had to kind of be recalibrated. You know what I'm saying? Like, we need to reframe what we believe to be a good season for Western this year.
Season, from what I'm taking away, is going to be a fight for us because Conference USA East is so much different than Conference USA West.
Yeah.
Because we got Marshall, we got FAU, we got Old Dominion.
MTSU's not
MTSU, exactly.
Especially if Stockstill's healthy. One of the only reasons, I swear, we only won last year because that dude was fighting like a half-broken collarbone.
And, I mean, you're talking about, and we got FIU, too. I mean, all those teams, of course, FAU and FIU came with us from the Sun Belt, so we've been fighting them for a while. But at the same time, you got to watch because Westerns, we've dropped on the experience chart, according to Phil Steele, from number 80 to number 126.
Yeah, we're one of the least experienced teams in the country.
And that's
we only have 10. We only have 10 seniors.
Exactly. That's what's scary.
Now they're all leaders, but they better be.
Yeah,
because like Eccles, he's been here 5 years. Like he's pushing the dowdy age. You know.
Yeah, exactly.
Not quite geriatric, but
well, of course. Okay, so he ranked the different units. So quarterback, running back, receivers, offensive line. The highest one we have right now is 6th in receivers.
Wow.
Quarterbacks, he's got us listed 9th. Running backs is 11th. Well, yeah, according to theirs.
Yeah.
Offensive line, 13.
That doesn't surprise me at all.
Defensive line, 12. Linebackers, 8. Defensive backs, 5. So I was wrong. That was the highest one.
But still, I will absolutely say that I still firmly believe because he's going off of last year's numbers and like then looking the year before to see what our returning like seniors who were back from injury this year are looking at. So I can see where maybe the defensive line is a little skewed. Now I definitely do not think that he's wrong on the offensive line because they beat it out. I think that we got a talented group of youngsters, but I mean, you played on the line. When there's babies who don't know the scheme, and y'all ain't played together for a long time, it is probably the two lines, and especially the offensive line, it probably has to be the most cohesive unit on the team as far as communication.
As far as, I mean, honestly, I had a good friend. We played 4 years together. When we started on the line together, we almost could take steps side by side. I mean, unconsciously.
You just know exactly what
you know. Yeah, this guy's stepping with his foot. I know exactly where to put my foot. A, so it doesn't get stepped on, and B, so I know that this guy's not getting past me.
Right.
But it's just, and of course, going back to the experience thing, the saddest thing is that FAU has got number 1 in 6 things.
I mean, look. When Lane...
I hate Lane Kiffin.
When grinning, smoking, drinking Lane Kiffin comes to town and brings a host of convicts with him, I mean, they got a dude... I remember I was getting my tires fixed at like a Ken Towries or something.
And he stole your tires?
He did probably steal my tires, yeah. They stole my catalytic converter and sold it for drugs. But no, for real, there was a video of this guy he brought in with him punching a girl in a bar.
Okay,
like,
yeah, I do remember that. And I don't remember it from that point of view. I'm a Last Chance U fan. So I actually know the kid you're talking about. I don't remember his name.
Chip threw a drink at him.
She called him the N-word, too.
You still don't punch Whitman.
I understand you don't punch Whitman. And he had a temper issue. But let me tell you, from that kid going to East Mississippi and then him coming out of East Mississippi, he was a different person.
He better be.
He's a great quarterback, though. The coach didn't have to do anything. That kid, he's like, they're going to run a post, and he's like, okay, I know when to throw, and you're like, oh my gosh.
See, then we should have pulled it. But no,
we should have got him.
It's like say you always love convicts on your team, right?
Mm-hmm, exactly.
And I've said that forever. Like Braun, he had some convicts. Like they played nasty.
Hey, I'm fine
and
with
I loved it when it's my team. Now you make fun of it when it's Miami.
Well, I mean,
but too bad when it's your team and you're winning.
Yeah, if it's the longest yard convicts team, you love them because
who cares?
It's a fun group of guys.
It's fun and you're winning.
And that guy's name is DeAndre Johnson.
DeAndre Johnson.
Yes, because I forgot it. I honestly.
Okay, so what do you? If you had to just say, okay, what is a successful season for the Western Kentucky football team this year? What does that look like to you?
I think it's getting to a bowl.
You think it's getting to a bowl or 6 wins?
Getting to a bowl. I would like 6 wins. I would like 6 wins. 6 wins.
Well, I mean, we're not getting a bowl unless we get 6 wins. They're not going to give us at 5. There's no,
not with where we're at, and not where we're projected to be in Conference USA. Conference USA, we're projected 5th, and that's really sad. But
after running the table for 2 years.
But according to our projections, let me see your little sheet, dude.
Yeah.
We've got at least 4 Conference USA wins.
Well, 4 wins in general.
4 wins in general.
4 losses.
Yeah, 4 losses, and then 4 toss-ups. 4 toss-ups. Of course, some of my toss-ups and some of your toss-ups are different.
Yeah, so kind of what I had was obviously a loss at Wisconsin. Sorry, guys, I don't think you got it. A beat down over Maine, which it should be, because they're an FCS team who doesn't have a lot of talent.
Exactly.
It's the first home game. We're going to be hyped up because, by the way, guys, there's a free Cage the Elephant concert right before that game.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I'm legit. So if you can get off work, that's the day. It's Saturday.
Well, first off, let me give you a strange fact about Maine. Did you know the state of Maine has more black bears than black people? That is a fact.
Well, I've been to Maine
That is
now,
a fact.
and I can tell you, that don't surprise me.
There was a study.
Because that was one of the worst dancing, most mayonnaise eating states I have ever seen.
That is the funniest thing.
Oh my goodness! Would you just look at that? That is the cutest little black bear I've ever seen.
Did you see that?
Yes, Larissa, have you been over there? Look at that.
Larissa. Ain't nobody named Larissa in Maine. There was 55,000 black bears. And the 2010 census said that there was 25 to 35,000 black people.
Okay, so what have we learned? Black people get to Maine.
Yeah, apparently they got great drinking water up there.
Dude, Maine's gorgeous.
Dude,
you got to go to Bar Harbor. We can fly into Bangor and take an hour car ride over to Bar Harbor. Gorgeous.
Oh yeah.
Except the mosquitoes. You think we got bad mosquitoes down here? Ain't nothing. Those things, they bit me through jeans.
Good God, dude.
That's
like the state bird up there, though.
It seriously is. That's what the guy, when we were going into Canada, that's what he told me. I said, we were camping in Maine, it was pretty, but God, the mosquitoes, and he goes, they're not much different up here, eh?
Yeah. Gotta love them Canadians. Yeah. You can pick them suckers out a mile away. Actually, Wisconsin, this is our second meeting.
Yeah, crazy story. 9/11.
Yeah, we played in the first 2001. That was at 9/11?
The game was postponed because of 9/11.
Oh my gosh, yeah. I never realized that.
There was a really good story. I don't know. I think it might have been a Wisconsin blog that got with some of their players from then, and they were reminiscing about how it was like this crazy thing to be playing the game, like be getting ready to play the game, and like 9/11 happening, and then they postpone it like to the next week. Wow. Yeah.
So, according to Phil Steele, Western is 2-8 in round openers with their last win coming at Vandy in 15.
I remember that. I was watching that game.
So we lose, like...
most of our openers.
Yeah.
But to be fair, we do have a lot of openers against, like, good teams. We do actually...
We play the Bamas, the Florida States, the Floridas.
They're good. They're good paydays. I can't blame them.
Oh, yeah.
That's how you build the other side of that stadium.
Okay. This is the first time we've ever played Maine.
Okay.
The Hilltoppers are 6-2 against FCS schools since 08.
Well, how long did we lose to 2 FCS schools?
It depends on who it is.
I mean, yeah, if it's like, didn't Oregon State used to be FCS and like North Dakota? NDSU.
I don't remember who the FCS ones that we lost
There's
to.
whoever Carson Wentz played for was really good. There's another Washington team that's really good.
Who did Carson Wentz play for?
I want to say it was North Dakota State University. I thought that's where he played.
Was it North Dakota State?
Yeah.
You may be right.
Anyways, I don't know. But yeah, there's 2 or 3. The JMU, James Madison, is really good. They got that game day last year.
Positive note. Apparently, Maine are the Black Bears.
Cool.
And they finished their season last year 4-6.
4-6 for Maine.
Wow, I didn't realize Western had played Louisville 32 times before this.
They used to play all the time.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's really a shocker for me.
Yeah.
And actually, WKU trails the series 19-12.
Which is not the disparity you would think where the programs are today.
Yeah, but it's still...
I mean, Louisville used to not have a good football team.
Yeah,
I mean, up until Lee Corso got there, they weren't very good.
Yeah, but at the same time...
Yeah, fun fact. Lee Corso used to coach at Louisville.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, that is hilarious.
Yeah. He's the one that, historically, they say rode the elephant through downtown.
Oh, did he really?
That's what they say. Nobody's got
hilarious.
a picture. But to, drum up business when the circus was in town. He rode it to the game. That's what they say.
I can picture Lee Corso with, a mascot head on.
Right, with a big cardinal head.
Good gosh, that's hilarious. Okay, what do you got, bud?
So, like I was saying, I got a loss against Wisconsin, a win against Maine, a loss against UFL. I've got a win solidly against Ball State, and I'm a little apprehensive about it because of how poorly we played against them at home last year.
Yeah.
But with a stouter defense, right, better defensive line, and maybe more of the scheme that he wants to run, because last year, had we just slung it like we did the rest of the season, we probably would have beat him by more, but he tried to run his system, and as we know, he couldn't run his system with Brahms players.
Well, and of course you got Ball State had 2 injuries last year, so I'm...
At running back and quarterback, by the way.
running back and quarterback.
Like their 2 studs were out.
Yeah, and that's just tough for me to say, yeah, they're going to get that.
I don't know. That's kind of what I feel. I got a loss against Marshall. I just think they're too stacked, and I just don't think it's a win. I think we better get a win at Charlotte because they are a dumpster fire. I think ODU's a toss-up. The reason I think ODU's a toss-up is because they've never had a quarterback. They've always had a really strong run game, but they've never been able to score points. And, we pick fights with them at homecoming, so that's fun. I think FIU is a toss-up. And the reason I think that is because last year they absolutely ran our butts in the ground, but that was at the end of the year with injuries and kind of the team giving up, it seemed like. They were just ready for that season to be over. I think that's an honest toss-up, maybe a lean towards loss.
Yeah.
Maybe a 4 to 6 point swing, I'm thinking. And then I think MTSU is a toss-up because MTSU is always a toss-up. Because we just hate them so much. It's like I told I got a guy at work who's a big UK fan, and I love to root against the Big Blue Nation. But I told him, he asked me, he said, man, is there any game that you would root for Kentucky? I said, there's one. And he's got the new schedule he got from Kroger, and I pointed, I said, on this day, buddy, when MTSU is at Kroger Field, I'm a Cat fan.
That's right.
That day.
Yep.
I've got some old shirts.
That hate runs deep, though. Seriously.
Them.
Oh, my gosh. It's...
Go die, Murfreesboro.
No joke. I don't know what it is. That rivalry to me is bigger than UK Louisville almost.
It's almost, and it's got the best name. 100 Miles of Hate, that's so much better than Battle of the Bluegrass. It's so much better.
Exactly. I just, MTSU comes to town, and my blood boils.
Yeah, right.
I just loathe them. But go ahead.
And so I think MTSU's a toss-up, I honestly do. I think FAU's a loss. Nothing you can do about that. Devin Motor Singletary is going to have a bazillion and a half touchdowns unless he gets hurt.
Sadly.
I think UTEP is a solid win. I think our performance against them at UTEP last year was an absolute fluke, winning by only 1 point. And I think La Tech is honestly a toss-up, though we probably lean left or lean loss simply because we play like absolute garbage every time we go to Ruston. Every time we go to Ruston, we either lose or there's a weird fumble at the end, like Mike White 2 years ago, going for the touchdown pass, we're up, going for a pass fumble. It just... Something's probably going to happen. So that leaves me at... So this could be as bad as a 4-8.
Yeah.
If you talk about losing all 4 of your toss-ups. Could be as good as 8-4. Now, do I think it's 8-4?
No.
Absolutely not. I think the ceiling of this team is a 7-win season.
I agree we have 4 toss-ups. I agree we have 4 wins, and we have 4 definite losses. Where those occur are different for me, but I think a 6-6 team is going to be good. Last year, if I said the same thing at the beginning of the year, I'd have been smacking myself saying, no, what have you been drinking? There's something going on here. But
it's an 8 or 9 win team, dang it. We're competing for a championship.
But it's a new system, you got to kind of give it that. And now, this is when okay, the bike has tipped over and fallen, you picked it up, and now you're starting to pedal again. Let's see how we get going. Successful season, we'll just have to see how it goes.
I honestly think you get to 6 wins as a successful season. I honestly just want to see 6 wins and player development. I want to see player development where it needs to go. I want to see offensive line cohesion. T.J. Woods, which, by the way, the new offensive line coach used to coach at Wisconsin.
No kidding.
Yeah, T.J. Woods. He was a Wisconsin coach back in the day.
Hey.
You all right? You do the Wisconsin, eh?
But, I mean, if we got a more mobile quarterback, though, that's also going to help our offensive line.
I think it should.
It's going to take more pressure off the O-line because not only does the defensive have to worry about the defensive system or guys, whatever you want to call them, they have to worry about the quarterback scrambling. They have to worry about, hey, he's broke the pocket. Now we got to keep contained. And then you got to worry about the defensive backs have to worry about him. So him being more mobile is going to be more freeing for us because it's unlike Mike White. We've got more freedom. If he is, of course, we haven't seen anything on him.
Mike Sanford keeps saying, "Oh, he's much better for the system. He's a lot faster. He's more athletic." And they've got all these things from camp where he's like running and diving. It's like, okay, cool. They're not hitting him.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, when he gets body slammed like Mike White at Alabama 2 years ago.
Yeah, well, the thing is, there's going to be a phrase that everybody hears during camp, and it's "stay off the quarterback."
Yeah,
quarterbacks are the most babied players on the team. I don't care who you are. Offensive linemen, offensive and defensive linemen are probably the most beat up guys.
Well, yeah,
but the quarterbacks,
because they get hit every play.
Yeah,
every single play.
Running backs typically do too, but at the same time, offensive linemen, they're like, who cares if you get hurt? Of course, we care, but these guys, you just gotta. Quarterbacks, they're going to get hit a couple times, and they're going to be like, "Ow!"
And you hope he's stout. And as the season goes on, we're going to go in depth on a few more of the younger players and kind of what the future looks like. We've got a 4-star quarterback from Florida whose name is Thomas. Probably the future of Western football if Mike Sanford hangs around a couple more years.
Yeah,
big guy, 6'3", 240 pounds. I mean, he's an absolute. He looks like a tight end or like a defensive end, but he's apparently got a cannon of an arm.
Yeah,
looks like a little baby Ben Roethlisberger kind of thing going on. So,
oh my gosh,
I would be totally. I'm fine with that, but we won't get into that tonight. But that's for me a good season is 6-ish wins and improvement. I want to see improvement on the O-line, the running backs, and the receiving core. I want to see consistency out of those, development cohesion out of those, and getting out without a bunch of surgeries. If that happens and we get 5 or 6 wins, I'll call that a bridge year to 2019, which is when Coach Sanford is coaching for his job.
Yeah.
Right? Unless there's a miracle. They could go off and have 8 wins this season. And at that point, I think he's earned his contract, and you can kind of trust him a little more.
Yeah, I agree.
But next year he's absolutely, if it goes about 6 wins, he's coaching for his job next year.
Now, according to Phil Steele, of course, we dropped from 80 to 126 in experience. But according to him, he says that we've got 7 games that we're the dog in. We're going to be the underdog in those games. And I'm like, really? 7 games?
I mean, I can see.
I got 2.
Wisconsin, Louisville, Marshall.
I'm going to say Ball State's one of those he's counting.
Maybe.
Marshall, ODU, FIU.
Are these ones he's actually counting?
No. He doesn't have them listed. He does not have them listed, but that's what I'm guessing. FAU is going to be the dog, too. And La Tech, I'm guessing. I don't know if that's 7. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. You're fine. I can... 4, 5, 6.
I don't know.
7.
Yeah, we're this like Sesame Street, we're just counting.
Yes. 1, 2, little piggy. The greatest joke I've ever heard in my life.
But I don't know. That's honestly kind of how I feel about the season. Hopefully, again, we got a game against Wisconsin. Hopefully, everybody gets out of there unscathed. They handle Wisconsin as best they can. I'd love to see it close, but again, healthy is the key going into Maine. Now we're going to kind of transition. Because last year we tried to do some fun stuff at the end of each episode, a little history lesson, whatever. I've kind of thought of some random stuff, just about WKU in general. And since there cannot be a woman listening to this, unless your dad is playing this out loud right now, and your mom happens to be passively listening.
Exactly.
That would be the only one. So we're gonna do some dude humor right now. But my wife loves poop jokes. She loves potty humor. We're gonna talk about. I want to do a little segment called Ranked, where we just talk about the best of whatever Western is, or we rank stuff at WKU. And tonight, I think I want to get real quick. What are the best buildings to poop in? on campus? Like, just when you... Because you know, right? Like, if you've been to college, you're out tailgating, It's or you're trying to get to that communications class down at the bottom of the hill, and you're up at the top of the hill.
Yeah, and all of a sudden Subway's kicking in, and
right,
you're like, oh no.
Yeah, you went and ate that weird burrito place,
exactly, yeah.
You ate the Taco Bell over there on Russell Road, which I do not suggest that you do unless you are incredibly hammered.
Oh my gosh,
which has got to be 90% of their revenue,
90% of the students, yeah.
Right, exactly. So you're running, where are you going to stop?
Okay, let's see. It depends on what part of campus I'm on, where I'm going.
Well, let's say you're at FA, you're at Fine Arts, you're kind of in the middle,
okay,
and you got a shot. Where are you going?
Okay, if I'm at Fine Arts, I don't think I've ever taken a poo at Fine Arts, so I don't know how.
Well, good, because they're not that good. Just a normal bathroom.
Grice isn't too bad.
Grice is okay, but busy.
Yeah, it is busy. That is true.
Yeah,
and I'm a shy pooper, so I don't like pooping.
Yeah, it gets scary. You start talking to you, go right back up in.
Yeah, I can't. Yeah,
prairie dog it.
If somebody walks in and you're just like, oh no. Let's see, Duck wouldn't be bad, or
especially
Student Union Center, or whatever they call it now.
I'm never calling it DSU. In fact, I told somebody somebody on campus, I was like, don't say those words. That's a dirty word. DSU.
Yeah.
It's duck or die.
It's Duck. Yeah, you got to go Duck.
But yeah, Duck, now they've redid it. 3rd floor.
Yeah, that'd be really private.
Nice.
Duck would be great.
3rd floor, Duck, right up there. One of my personal favorites, especially since I am an alumni now, is the alumni building.
Well, yeah.
Because it's not super busy most days. It's got a nice full door.
Yeah.
They've got like when it's the game day, they'll pipe in the Hilltopper IMG Sports Network into the stalls. Very nice.
Awesome.
Yeah, very nice. That is a primo Dookie spot.
Okay, you're top of the hill. Where are you going, Dookie?
Very top of the hill.
You're up at Cherry.
Gordon Wilson.
You're going to Gordon Wilson?
Gordon Wilson. Well, it's a surprise pick, right?
Okay,
but if you go into Gordon Wilson, there's a bathroom in there that also doubles as like a janitor's closet. I kid you not. You go in there, and there's a commode, a sink, and then like one of those mop buckets. But you can lock the door.
I picture right now is the South Park episode where Cartman got his own bathroom because he was trans.
Yeah,
yes.
Yeah, exactly. So that's what you do. Now, you do run a risk of like a janitor unlocking the door and like catching you going poop, and that's not good for anybody. But I know a lot of those people, so it'd be okay.
Yeah. Well,
Jake, what are you doing?
Yeah, exactly. Your dad would be like, "Oh my God, my son just shit in the janitor's closet."
But not like not in a mop bucket.
I'm not saying you would.
Like I'm not in the shop sink. It's an actual commode. But yeah, top of the hill, Gordon Wilson. I skipped Cherry. I skipped Snell. Thompson's
Cherry's
destroyed.
Old though.
Cherry is old, but there's lots of people in there, and it is hotter than New Love and Cherry all year long.
See, I have gone Dookie and Thompson North Wing before they tore it down, obviously. I'm not sitting on the field pooping.
Temp's over there in a trash heap.
Yeah, just going to the trash heap.
Who is that guy on the... He's standing on the digger.
But no, let's see. I've gone in Thompson North Wing. What's that new one? Snail?
Snail, yeah.
Snail's
nice.
I say
new, it's like 15 years old. It's new,
yeah, I know.
It's
new to us, yeah. Snail, I've gone in there. Okay, fun fact for you. My little brother was at the top of the hill. Of course, he's an ag major. His goofy butt decides
the basement of that building is okay.
See, I've never been in that one.
It's a pretty building.
I've walked in and I was like, I don't belong here, and I turned around and left.
Well, does Lindsay still work in that building, or has she moved back out?
No. She's at the expo.
She's back at the expo.
She's over the expo.
That's right. That's what I thought she was running.
Now we're talking about my cousin who works out there. But no, Logan figured out that he had to have his notes printed before class. So he runs all the way down to mass media.
Oh, God.
Prints them out, runs all the way back up the hill.
He didn't think to go to the library?
Yeah, there's like a half dozen places he could have stopped and got them. But he did not.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah, that's...
the funniest thing. Yeah, it was just like...
But yeah, if I had to rank them, I like the new buildings. I like New Duck, and I like the Alumni Center, and a sleeper pick is the Gordon Wilson Chandler's Closet.
I agree with those. Those are pretty good.
So we're going to try to do a ranks every week.
Yeah, I'm good with that.
Just to rank some random stuff. And try to come up with some other goofy things. If you guys have other funny stuff you want us to talk about or funny stories to share, tweet at us. We'll get the website up. We're going to try to have like a little comment section. You can always comment on YouTube where we post these, and we're still trying to figure out if Podbean's got a comment section or not. I think it does. We can customize it. We'll see.
And of course, you can always email us at wkuredout@gmail.com.
Yep.
And like Jake said, Twitter. If you add one of us on Facebook, go ahead and ask your questions to us there. We'll be glad to answer them through the podcast.
Absolutely. You got anything else tonight?
No, I'm good, bro.
All right, well, thanks for listening to the first episode of the second, hopefully, mini seasons of RedOUT. Always remember, go Tops.